How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, or an Encoder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer. And as always, if you guys don't want access to a private repository of this project, there is a link in the description down below that'll walk you through exactly how to gain access to that. Now, with that being said, let's go and hop into what we're working on today. Today, we're going to go ahead and continue working on this little section right here, making sure to get our birthday SVG in the DOB section all filled out. We're also going to go ahead and make a new utility function, make sure we can actually show our emojis correctly in here, and also make sure that whenever we at someone or a company, whatever, it also shows up in blue. After that, we'll go ahead and continue working on a couple other things. Like the previous episodes, we'll have to see how far we get and how long it takes, but that's the plan for the day. So with that being said, let's go and hop into code and get to work here. So the first thing I need to go ahead and do is make that SVG. Let's go and open up our Explorer here, and let's go up to where our SVGs are. Let's go ahead and just say birthday SVG is what I believe I call this. Yes, it is. .tsx. Whoops. TSX. Let's go ahead and hop in here, clear this, and we'll go ahead and import our SVG props from our global interfaces, and we'll also go ahead and export a default function, birthday, and I believe I used uppercase right there. No, I didn't. Birthday SVG, and if I just typoed that down there, I think it actually looks good. That's fine. We'll go ahead and have our SVG props. Whoops. Props of SVG props. There we go. And then return. Then let's go ahead and grab the SVG from Twitter. So once again, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this is muted. We're gonna go ahead and inspect this guy. We're gonna go ahead and open this, and we want this born emoji right here. So let's go ahead and copy this SVG, copy element, and then we should no longer need Twitter anymore. Let's go ahead and paste that in there. Let me go ahead and clean this up, and we'll be right back. Now that we clean it up, let's go ahead and get rid of this class that we no longer need. We'll go ahead and have height is gonna be equal to props.height. We'll have our width, width is equal to props.width. Then let's go ahead and do not want the J there. I forgot to hit escape before we went. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and put in our fill. It's equal to props.color, question mark. If that's the case, it'll be props.color. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and do #000, which is the black color. So that's good to go. Now we need to go ahead and set up a new utility function inside of our emoji utils to deal with the emojis and mentions. So let's go ahead and hop in there. So inside of the emoji utils, let's just go ahead and scroll down close to the bottom here. I don't think it really matters where this goes. We just want it below. We have our other mapping functions at, and this is probably how I should have ended up doing this to begin with, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just come to here. We're going to go ahead and say export const, and this one's going to be convert post content to profile elements. We should have done something more similar to this before, but it is what it is. It's going to be bio content, and we reuse this other places. So this doesn't necessarily need to be bio content, just because it's been content, which is a string. We're going to have a location of type string, and it's going to return a JSX. That element array like it did before. Go ahead and do that. So now we're going to say const post elements is going to be equal to, and we're going to go ahead and convert post content, convert and post content, to elements. There we go. That's what we want. Then here we're going to have bio content, and this is going to be a type post. That's good to go. We're going to go ahead and return post elements.map, map each element, element, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to say if our element.props.class name is equal to, and this is going to be post-content-span. This is why we set up all those different classes not yesterday, the other day in the last episode. So element is going to be equal to element, and then we're also going to have props, and then in here we don't want double curly braces, typoed. Go ahead and fix that. There we go. Inside of our props, we're going to go ahead and have element element.props, and then we're going to have class name. This is going to be backticks profile user information and then $ curly brace location span. So that's good to go. Then we're going to go ahead and say else if we're going to go ahead and have element.props.class name is equal to, and then we're going to have post content emoji. Here we're going to go ahead and say element is equal to dot 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 element. Once again, we're gonna go ahead and have props colon dot 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 element dot props, and then here we're gonna have class name equal to, and this is gonna be once again backticks profile dash user dash information dash $ curly brace $ curly brace location dash emoji, and then we're gonna go ahead and have an else if again, and this is gonna be element dot props dot class name is equal to, and here this is going to be post dash content dash mention. Make sure we do that. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and have element equal to dot 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 element. We're going to have props colon dot 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 element dot props, and then we're going to have class name equal to, and then this one is just going to be profile dash user dash information dash mapped dash content dash mention. So it's slightly different, but it is what it is. And at the end of all this, we need to go ahead and return our element. And let's see if it complains. It is complaining. What did I miss? I might have put the, let's see, let's go ahead and try to return a little bit farther down. Let's try to return element there. Okay, that works. So one, I spelled this wrong, so that doesn't help. And then I think we need another one of these maybe. Okay, that fixed that. We have an extra one of these here maybe. There we go. We had an extra curly brace where it wasn't supposed to be. I believe everything else is fine now. So this goes to here, that goes to there. We could probably do one of these right there. Go ahead and do that. And then clean this up a little bit. This is kind of scuffed. Let's see here. This guy goes to there. Okay, I think that is fixed now. We just had a little bit of wonkiness going on there, but that's going to go ahead and map our elements and everything over to images and whatnot. And hopefully I didn't typo anything. We'll see how it looks in a second. And then finally, let's go ahead and go into our date utils and set up one new function is in there. So inside of our date utils, we're going to just come down to around where other things are. So we have like stringify date, stringify full year. So what I'm just going to go and do, I'm just going to put it here. It doesn't really matter where it goes. Export const. We're going to go ahead and stringify our birth date. So birth and then date. And then this is going to go ahead and take a date, which is a DOB, which I think at this point we should have in here. I'm just going to return a string. Here it's going to return backticks $ curly brace. This is going to be months. And then we're going to say date, maybe date dot month and +1. I don't know why that's scuffed, but it is what it is. $ curly brace. This is going to be date dot day, and then $ curly brace. We need a comma here. $ curly brace date, date dot year. So there we go. There's that. Why are we complaining? We have our backticks, months, date dot year. Why is everything just breaking? Because we have an extra on these somehow. And I broke this now. Terrific. That is better. There we go. Cool. So now let's go ahead and hop into a profile user information, use all the stuff we just created and make it good and finish it up. Okay, so now we need to go through and just kind of add in all these different locations. So nickname is going to be the first one that can be kind of have a emoji in it. We don't necessarily right now, but we can. So it's going to have convert, post, content elements, convert, post, content, and I need to make sure that I actually export that because I'm not seeing it. Convert post content to profile elements. There it is. Okay, I wanted to make sure we could get it imported. Profile user dot nickname, and then this is going to be nickname as the location. So there we go. And then we need to go ahead and scroll down to where our bio is. So let's see here, get verified, organization, username, and then here's our bio. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. So it's going to be convert, and then post content to profile elements. Once again, that's going to be profile user dot bio. And then we're also going to go ahead and put in that this is a bio. And then we need to go ahead and do our date of birth. So let's come down here. Do we have our date of birth SVG? Let's go ahead and say birthday SVG. We're going to have width. Whoops. Let's actually start out with height. And this is going to be equal to, I believe we put these as like 18. Let's see. I don't remember. Yeah, 18. And then I forgot to actually put in the birthday SVG part, but it is what it is. Height will be 18. And then color will be the same thing as before. Pound 657786. Go ahead and do that. And then we have our born DOB. And then get rid of the DOB. We're going to go ahead and put stringify. And then this is birth date. And then in here, we're going to go ahead and put profile user dot date of birth, I believe. Yep, date of birth. And we are only displaying it if we want to show it what is going on with this. Whoops, I put height twice. Make sure we put width there. That looks good. All right, so now let's go ahead and hop into the front end, make sure this looks good, make sure the emoji looks okay, nothing funky going on, and then we can go ahead and move on to setting up where we can kind of see who our followers are and all of that stuff, and then see where we get from there. So let's hop into the front end. Let's go ahead and give this a refresh, and now you can see that we have our emoji working. We don't have any emojis up here, but you can see this is thick again. If we had an emoji in our name like we were trying to do before, that would look a lot better, but you can see our emoji, you can see our @ symbol here. Now, this should probably be able to be clickable, and I don't think we've figured out how to do that. That would be kind of complicated because then you'd have to pass an on-click handler for that. So maybe this is something that would be like last second thing that we do as we're wrapping up some of the other stuff, but everything else looks good. We have our birth date, our joined, and everything else. So that's going to do that. Next, there's another section under here that kind of shows like how many people you're following, how many people you know that are following the person, so on and so forth. So I want to go ahead and get started on this guy. We have a bit of time here. I don't think the CSS is super crazy for this, but I at least want to go ahead and get this displaying down here. That way we can move forward and then go on from there. So let's go and hop into that, see how far we get. And then once I feel like we have taken up enough time here, we'll wrap up the episode. So let's hop back into the code. Back here in the code, we need to go ahead and create a new component. So let's go and open up our Explorer. Let's go into our profile components, and this is going to be profile and then follow information. And then we'll go ahead and say profile, follow, information.tsx. Go ahead and open up profile, follow information.css. Let's go ahead and open up our tsx file. Go and import React from React, and let's also import our /profile follow information.css, and then export a const, and we'll have our profile follow information. And then here, this is going to be a react.fc, and it's going to take in one prop. This is going to be our profile user. I know we technically could have just passed in from Redux, whatever, but for simple things like this, I go ahead and just do this. Profile user, kind of keep things compact within the profile page itself. So there we go. Let's go ahead and just return a div really quick just to get it over with. Div class name is going to be equal to navigate to, not navigate. What am I doing? This is going to be profile-follow-information, like so. So let's go ahead and set up our state and other stuff. So we're going to have a const navigate is equal to use navigate, like so. Looks good. We're going to also have a const map follow count. So this is just going to basically convert some things for us, count and number, and then go ahead and say string. So here, this is kind of ugly, but it is what it is. So if our count is over 1 million, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if it's over 1 million, we're going to go ahead and say const divided. I cannot spell. I think that's how you spell divided. Count is equal to count divided by 1 million. Like so. I believe that's right. Let's see. Underscore. Underscore. We need another 0. There we go. Underscore. So basically 1 million here. And then same thing here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1 million. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and divide that by 1 million. And then we're going to go ahead and return backticks $ curly brace. And it's going to be divided count dot to fixed. And then here we're going to go ahead and 2 and then put in an M. Obviously, I'm not going to set up something with 2 million subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers, whatever, 1,000,000 followers, but it is what it is. Now we're going to have if count is greater than 100,000. So 1, 2, 3, underscore 1, 2, 3, like so. So if it's over 100,000, we're going to have our const divided count equal to count divided by 100,000, 2, 3, underscore 1, 2, 3. And then we go ahead and return backticks, $ curly brace, and then divided count dot to fixed. And then here, once again, we'll say 2, and then this time it'll be k for 1,000. And then we'll do an if our count is greater than 10,000. So like that, then we'll have const divided count is equal to count divided by 10,000, like so. And then we'll return $ curly brace, and this is going to be the same thing, divided count dot to fixed. I need to do our backticks. Forgot our backticks. Let's make sure we do that. There we go. To fixed. Maybe if I could type, that'd be cool. Fixed. There we go. And then this is going to be 2. And once again, this will be k. And then finally, otherwise, just go ahead and return the count if there's less than 10,000. So if there's like 999, whatever, we'll go ahead and just return that up to 10,000. Let's go put backticks, $ curly brace backticks. All right, so now we have our count mapped. And then finally, we're going to have a const navigate to follow or following. So this one is going to be fun. We're going to have e and then react.mouse event, event, maybe. There we go. This will be an HTML and div element, like so. Go ahead and do one of these. Here, we're going to say e.stop propagation to stop any foul play from happening. And then navigate here, backticks, and then / curly brace, profile user dot username / and then it's going to be $ curly brace e.current target and then .id. So we're going to go ahead and set up that whenever you click on a button, it navigates to a specific page. Now, are we going to get to that page? I have no idea. We'll see, but we're just going to go ahead and keep moving here. So now we're going to have a div class name equal to profile-follow information group. Group. And we're missing some stuff here for sure because it should be more than, or wait, never mind. This isn't the thing that I thought it was, just kidding. So this should be profile follow information group, and then ID is going to equal to following. I thought this with the buttons, but it's not, it's fine. On click is going to be equal to navigate to following or follow, or I did it backwards, whatever. And then in here, we're going to have a span, the class name equal to profile-follow information -count. And inside here, we'll go ahead and say map follow count. And we'll go ahead and say profile user.following.length. And then we'll go ahead and say following. And we're going to more or less do the same exact thing for our other one. So let's go ahead and copy this guy. So Y, and then go ahead and paste them in below. Paste, go ahead and format that. So now this is going to be, instead of following, this will be followers, like so. And then this one will be followers. So that is this. There is going to be one more component we need to set up underneath this. So if we have the time, we will. Let's go ahead and hop into the CSS and get that going. And let me just double check that we did in fact bring in the CSS. Cool. So let's hop into CSS. Inside the CSS, let's go ahead and set up our profile, follow information. And here we'll have a width of 100%. We'll take up the whole space. Height will just take up what we need. So fit-content. We're going to go ahead and say display flex and align items in the center. And then here we'll have a padding, dash left of about 16px, maybe. If I could type, that'd be cool. We'll have a padding on the top of about 8px. We could have done this all in one line, but it is what it is. And then we're going to have a small gap of 16px. Well, it's a little bit bigger than small, but it is what it is. Next, we'll have profile, follow, and then information, maybe, dash, and then this is going to be group. This one's going to be simple. color pound 657786. Whoops, not G6, our dark gray color. Font, whoops, font dash size, we have 14 px. We're gonna have a font dash weight of 400. Next up, our profile dash following dash information. Oops, not following, follow information dash group colon hover. Inside here, we'll go ahead and have a cursor, a pointer, and we're going to go ahead and have text dash decoration. And this is going to go ahead and be underlined. And we have just like a couple more things here. Next, we have dot profile dash follow. Whoops, not follower, follow information. And then here's going to be our count. Here, we're going to have color black. We're going to have a font dash weight, maybe about 800. And then a margin on the right of about 4px for a little bit of spacing. That's all we need for this. Let's go and hop into the profile and bring this in. So now underneath our profile user information, let's go ahead and bring in our profile follow. So we're going to go ahead and have curly braces, profile user dot followers, and profile user dot following. We need to make sure that these are both set up. I believe we should be fetching these at this point. Now we have profile, and then this is follow information, and it's gonna have profile user equal to profile user. So that is set up. We still need to set up one more thing in here, but we can at least take a look at this, and I think we should have time to set up the last thing. Let's go and hop into the front end, just make sure our profile and follow information is showing up. So now this is not quite working. Let's see what's going on here. So let's take a look what's going on there. So first off, I put these in the wrong part. This should not be in this span. It should be outside the span. So this will be following, and then let's go and make sure this is outside the span as well. So go ahead and delete this. And then go ahead and put followers. Okay, so now let's see here. So count should be profile user following, not length. So if, whoops, this should be count is greater than this. I just straight up typoed. Okay, now let's take a look. That's why we test. There we go. So we have 4 followers and 2 following, and that's literally all it is. And then we're gonna have like one more thing if they are following someone, you know, basically, and we're gonna more or less steal this from somewhere else. And I think this is gonna be stolen from, let's see here, the conversation user info. So let's hop back into the front end, start doing some yoinking, and get to work here. Before we go and steal some code, let's go and open up our Explorer here. Let's go ahead, and I don't remember if I make this inside of here or inside of just components. I think it might just go inside components because it's going to be shared across different things. So inside components, I'm going to go ahead and make followed by, and then slash followed by.tsx, and then followed by.css. And then let's just go ahead and import our React from React. We'll go ahead and grab the other stuff as we need it. We're going to go ahead and import our dot slash and then followed by.css, and then we need to go ahead and open up our whatever it's called. First, we'll go ahead and actually export const followed by react.fc, and we will have some followed by props. We'll set up in a second, is equal to, and this is followers list and user, and go ahead and do this return and just have a div for now to make it happy. Let's go on interface, whoops, interface, and then this is going to be followed by props, and here we'll go ahead and have followers list will be a user array, and then we'll also go ahead and have user, which is a user, and make sure we import that. Cool, so that is good to go. Now let's go ahead and hop into the other component. So this is going to go ahead and be called the conversation user info. So inside of our conversation user info, we're going to go ahead and steal a few things or borrow them. Let's just first grab the map followed by content. Go ahead and delete this. Let's go into followed by, and then we can go ahead and come down here and paste it in. So in theory, this shouldn't be that much work, but we're going to set up a few things. And then let's go ahead and also, I think we want to go and navigate have the navigate. So let's go ahead and hop and grab that as well. So I think we also want to go ahead and grab this navigate. I don't think we need the use effect because we're doing that already. So let's go ahead and grab this navigate really quick. And is this what we want? Let's see. It's not quite the same. So maybe I'll go and keep that as is. I don't think we need this fetch users anymore, but we're just going to go ahead and actually grab this conversation user info followed by, I believe, as well. Let me just go and see. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and grab this guy as well and get him out of there and save that. And then let's go and hop back into followed by. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but just follow along. So onside followed by, I'm going to go ahead and return that content, and we're going to set up some state and stuff to go ahead and make sure this all works. So let's go ahead and set up our state and everything, and then we'll go through and clean up the other stuff that we need to clean up inside of that other component, and then we'll wrap it up. So we're going to go ahead and have our const navigate. Now I didn't delete the navigate out of the other one because we might still need it. I don't want to re-add it later. So now we have our use navigate. We're going to have our const, and then that's going to be logged in user following list is equal to use selector. And this is going to be state root, state, and this is going to be state.user.following. Okay, we could have done this slightly different also, but it is what it is. Const logged in is going to be equal to use selector, and then here that's going to be state, root state, and then state.user.logged in. Okay, so now we have logged in. We have our following list. So we will continue moving forward here, and now we need to go ahead and say const, and it's going to be followed by, and set followed by is equal to use state. This is going to be a user array, and then we're going to go ahead and do one of these like that. So now we're going to say return, return followers list dot filter. We're going to filter out user, and this is going to go ahead and be return logged in user following list dot sum. We're going to have a u arrow function u dot user id is equal to user dot user id, which would be the logged in user, and u dot user id is not equal to our logged in question mark dot user id. So basically it's going to go ahead and get the people that you follow and the other person follow as well. So that looks good. Let's go and import our use state from React, and then these all end up being changed to shared followers to followed by, but it's fine. And then let's go ahead and say const navigate to followers you know, like so. Just gonna take in an e react.mouse event on an HTML, and then div element, HTML div element, and then we'll go ahead and fix this. Here we'll go ahead and set e.stop propagation, so there's no weird stuff going on. We're gonna go and say if followed by dot length is greater than 0. So if there are actually people that you both follow, we're gonna go ahead and navigate to, and then backticks slash and $sign curly brace user dot username slash, and then followers underscore you underscore no. So now we need to go through here. Instead of shared followers, this is going to go ahead and be followed by. Okay, here same thing. Instead of shared followed, this can be followed by. Same thing here. Go ahead and make this followed by, and then finally same thing here. We'll go ahead and say followed by. So followed by, like so. Cool. And then here I must have typoed something. What's going on with this? Cannot find property username does not exist on user. Yes, it does. I promise you. Oh, it's because I accidentally put user array. There we go. It's better. So now we have our navigate. We have all of this stuff. So that's good to go. And then finally, all we need to go ahead and do is rename some of this stuff. So here, instead of this is just going to go ahead and be followed by dash container. Okay, and now this is going to go ahead and be followed by dot length. Here we're going to go ahead, instead of conversation user info followed by, this is going to be followed by PFPs followed dash by dash PFPs dash container, like so. We're still going to have our post profile pop-up icon. So go ahead and import that. This is going to go ahead and be followed by now. So let's go ahead and share that, followed by .slice. And then finally, instead of conversation user info, this is going to go ahead and be backticks, followed dash by dash text, and then $ curly brace. And then we're going to have followed, followed by .length is greater than 0 question mark. If that's the case, we're going to go ahead and have followed dash by dash text dash decoration. So basically we're able to make it look like an underline probably. And we're going to go ahead and have that. And then we're going to go ahead and add the on click. On click is going to be equal to navigate to followers, and I believe that should be good. Let me just scroll over and make sure. Now, like I said, there's still going to be some funky stuff broken, but let's go ahead and grab the CSS for this from that other component that we were just working on. So in here, let's go ahead and grab where we have all of our followed by. So we have conversation user followed by, we have this, but followed by text. Let's go ahead and get rid of that out of here. Hop back into followed by.css, paste this in here. So now it's going to go ahead and say, instead of followed by here, this is going to be followed by dash container. This should all be the same. Here, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. So it's going to be followed by PFP's dash container. And then we'll have our followed by text. So go ahead and say followed by text, which should be the same. Margin 0. Here we did add a padding 0. So let's go ahead and add padding 0 to this. It looks like we might have added, so with 100%, height doesn't matter. We can add height in here. We can go ahead and add height will be fit dash content. That's fine. Display flex. And this is, we have align item center. So we did change things slightly. Align item center. Go ahead and get rid of this. And then we have a padding, padding dash left of 12px and a padding dash top of about 8px. So we did do a little bit of work on this. This is the same, followed by text margin. Here we do not have break word anymore, so I go ahead and get rid of that. And then finally, followed dash by dash text dash decoration : hover. And here we'll go ahead and have cursor, a pointer, and we'll go ahead and have text dash decoration of underline. So that should finish that up. Now it's going to go ahead and put this into the profile page and then also do the other component. So let's go ahead and hop into the profile page. Inside the profile page, we're simply just going to go ahead and put it below here. So we're going to say profile user dot user ID is not equal to logged in dot user ID, and then we're going to say and profile user dot followers and profile user dot following. I don't know why we need the following in there, just to make sure, I guess they're both filled out. But then we'll have followed by, and I'm sure something's going to be broken here. Followers list is going to be equal to profile user dot followers, and then user will be equal to profile user. There's just a good chance something's broken here because we did so much of the refactoring. And then finally, let's go ahead and hop into the conversation user info and make sure that's working. So in here, there's still some broken things in here. So now instead of shared followers, this is just going to be, we're going to get rid of this actually. And now we're going to have followers, set followers equal to a user array. So here, this is going to go ahead and be user array, and this is going to start out as empty. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and, I don't know if we need to get rid of this. I don't think we need this use effect thing anymore. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. We still get followers. That's fine. We still do this. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is, I don't know why this conversation user stat is mad. I don't think we're using anything. Maybe I'm wrong. Followers, it's because followers should be followers.length now. Okay, that makes sense why it's mad. And then we just need to go ahead and add in the followed by. So here, followed by, go ahead and import that. And then followers, followers list will be equal to followers, and then user will equal to user. So that should fix that part. I have no idea where we're going to find this to test it. If it looks good on our profile page, I'm going to call it good. And then we just need to go ahead and update it into post profile pop-up. So inside of post profile pop-up, I believe, let's scroll down here to line 113. So it's not on line 113. It's this guy right here. It should be line 136. So we have this followed by and stuff again. Let's go ahead and delete this. We'll go ahead and put in followed by once again. Followers list is going to be equal to followers list. And then we're going to have user is equal to the author. Okay. So there we go. That looks good. So now what we need to go ahead and do is we need to hop over to Summer, because Summer is the one that has the people that we both follow. We need to see if it looks like absolute crap and then go from there. So let's just go ahead and refresh it. So as you can see, we're not going to see that section in here because it's our own profile. You don't see in your own profile. But if we go to Summer, that says summertime, you see followed by Rick, Morty, and one others you know. If you were to click on this, it would take you there. I'm not going to click on it right now because that page doesn't exist right now. But now we can go ahead and reuse that. And that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. If you guys did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe. I know this last couple episodes were longer ones. Hopefully next episode, we're only working on one component. I'll just kind of mix match things as we are going here. So with that being said, y'all, hope you have a great day. If you do want to see where we start from absolute scratch again from what we are now, there's going to be a playlist and an end card coming right up. But with that being said, y'all, hope you have a great day. This has been Ethan Uncoder, and I'll see you all in the next video.